Hello and welcome back to my channel. So here today we'll be discussing the novel A Golden Age by Tahmima Anam. In the previous video we have discussed the overview and the character sketch. So in this video now let us understand some important events and the summary of this novel. So in the beginning of the novel, Anam provides a map discussing the three countries, that is West Pakistan, India and East Pakistan. Anam has given us the background of the partition through this map. So it talks about 1947 when India gained independence from the British Raj. So after this independence, the nation was divided into three parts, or else we can say it gave birth to two more nations. Hence, with the independence, two more nations were formed, that is West Pakistan and East Pakistan. West Pakistan is now known as Pakistan, please note that, and East Pakistan is now known as Bangladesh. Anam provides a background of how their nation Bangladesh, which was earlier known as East Pakistan, was colonized doubly, first by the British Army and then by the West Pakistani government. So, through this novel, Anam highlights the journey of East Pakistan and how it became Bangladesh, an independent nation. Now, the novel begins with the prologue, and we see the setting is in 1959 Dhaka, East Pakistan. Now, why East Pakistan? Because it is yet to get liberation, therefore, we cannot call it Bangladesh. So, here we meet Rehana Haq, the major character, who is near the tomb of her husband Iqbal. So, Rehana's husband is no more, he is dead now. So, here near the tomb, Rehana says something which I quote: "Dear husband, I lost our children today." What does she mean by this statement is that her husband Iqbal is no more now, and he was working in an insurance company, and due to his untimely death it has caused a lot of financial crisis for Rehana and her children Sohel and Maya. So here we are introduced with another character whose name is Faiz. So he is Iqbal's brother and Rehana's brother-in-law. So here he decides to adopt Rehana's children with his wife Parvin, as they both are childless. Rehana even files the case against him as she don't want to leave her children, or she don't want to keep them away from her, as they were the only family left with her. However, Faiz, being a barrister, manages to win the custody and the case, declaring Rehana as poor and weak mother to look after her own children. Then Faiz and Parveen take Sohel and Maya with them to West Pakistan, Lahore. Rehana was also seen as an outsider by them, especially by Faiz, as she has her original roots from Calcutta, India, and later she gets shifted with her husband to East Pakistan, and there she adopts the Bengali culture. So here Tahmima Anam highlights the issues between Bengali speakers and Urdu speakers, although being a part of a same family. Please make a note that A Golden Age is itself a contribution in diasporic literature, so it reflects the theme of alienation. Therefore, here Rehana is observed as an outsider. So the novel starts getting more interesting with the second chapter as the setting changes to March 1971. Here we see Rehana has become financially stable now. She has built a big house in Dhaka. She names it as Shona, and she has rented a part of it to Mr. and Mrs. Sen Gupta. And another very important thing is that she also brings back her children back to Dhaka, that is in East Pakistan, which were earlier with Faiz living in West Pakistan. In the novel, Rehana also has a very good friend and a neighbor, Mrs. Chaudhry, who is a single mother of Sylvie, as her husband leaves her when she was not able to give him a son. Sylvie and Sohil are of same age. Sohal and Maya, as they have come back now, they are studying in the University of Dhaka and they are quite grown up. They are the activists and they are dreaming for their country to become liberated and independent from the West Pakistan's dominance. Another important twist in the novel is that Sohal and Sylvie love each other. However, Sylvie's mother arranges her a suitor whose name is Sabir, who is a lieutenant. Sylvie and Sabir marries each other when West Pakistani army attacks the places in Dhaka. So now let's understand about the attack, which was the true incident that happened in Bangladesh in 1971, and also how Bangladeshi citizen and the army fought in the war. Anam describes the true historic event that took place in Bangladesh on 25th March 1971. Here, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman announced the Bangladesh's independence from the West Pakistani dominance. So he makes this announcement in the morning, and West Pakistani army comes and attack the Bangladeshi citizen at night on the same date. Though being a fiction novel, let's understand how it took place in Bangladesh and how the citizen experienced that thing. So, before the war and after the announcement of the liberation, Mrs. Chaudhary throws a party and she invites Rehana and her children along with Mr. and Mrs. Sen Gupta. So, during this time, East Pakistan is attacked by the West Pakistani army. This attack is known as Operation Searchlight. It was carried out at night by the military force on the order of President Yahya Khan of the West Pakistan. So everyone witnessed the war. It was basically a genocide. A genocide is something in which massive killing happens and brutal killing and brutal rapes happen in particular place of a country. The only demand of the East Pakistan or now the Bangladesh was that to set up their own government under the leadership of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, to have their own flag and their own nation's name. Pakistan was not okay with it even after Bangladesh was liberated. All activists and all the soldiers of Bangladesh came together and they decided to fight against this injustice. Rehana was very much scared for her children's involvement in the liberation war as they were already the activists. However, with the passage of time, Rehana overcomes her fear. She allows her son to join the Mukti Bahini, that is the Bengali guerrilla force, and her daughter to join a press in Calcutta, which was writing against the West Pakistani dominance and their injustice. So, Rehana, being a major character, highlights the struggle of identity crisis. As earlier mentioned, it is a contribution to diasporic literature. So here Rehana's struggle is that she is not Bengali or Bengali is not her roots. She was born in Calcutta, India, and her in-laws are Urdu speakers from the West Pakistan. So she has this question constantly that where she exactly belongs from. And question was that whether it is worth fighting for the nation which was not her and where she was not exactly born. However, the concept of Bangladesh gets clear in her mind and she allows her children to involve in the fight. Rehana also allows her house Shona to turn into a guerrilla hideout where weapons were kept hidden of the Bangladeshi soldiers. Even Rehana and other female friends of her contributed silently in this war. So they sewed blankets from their old saris, they made pickles and other food arrangements for the soldiers. So during the war, Rehana meets Major, whose name is not mentioned clearly. So he is the head of Sohul and the Guerilla army. Rehana was worried initially to allow a man in her house when she was alone in the absence of her own children, but however, they become more friendly with the course of time. Rehana gives him shelter as he was badly injured, and she even takes care of him. Later, their bond grows more stronger, where Major talks about his life and how he was married to a Hindu girl who later died. Also, Rehana confesses how she had gained the money to build Shona and to get back her children from Lahore. It was not revealed in the previous chapter of how Rehana gains a lot of money to build a house and gain back her children. Major tries to confront this, in which Rehana breaks and confesses how she gained the money. So here Rehana basically steals jewelry from an old blind man's house where she was called to marry him. But however, the old man was displeased by her behavior and he asks her to leave. There, Rihanna manages to steal some of the gold which was kept open, and she does that because the man was already blind, so nobody noticed what she does there. Rihanna and Major fall for each other, which she confesses by the end of the war on her husband's tomb. So the war, which began from 25th March 1971, continues for the next few months. So here, Rehana's tenant, Mr. and Mrs. Sen Gupta, get killed. Maya's best friend, Sharmini, is raped and is killed. Even Sohel's friend, Joy and Arif dies. Sylvie's husband is tortured, and Rehana, however, helps him to get released with the help of Fair's connection. But Sabir gets so much traumatized by the torture done by the Pakistani army, he dies at the end. Originally, the war ends with the collaboration of the Indian Army with Mukti Bahini, and both forces defeat the West Pakistan. The war ends on 16 December, killing over 3 million of the Bangladesh's population, and over a million of people migrated to India. So, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman becomes the president of the newly formed nation. Hence, this period was a golden age for the Bangladeshi citizens. So here we come to the end of the novel's discussion. So this novel is described from a Bangladeshi's perspective of not only how they see the war but how they have experienced it. We also have novels written from the Pakistani perspective, and also the effect post-war mentioned in the major novels of Indian literature. So, if you're interested in understanding the point of views of different nations over this partition, you can read several literature produced in Pakistan, maybe in India, and then in Bangladesh and parts of Asia where this partition plays an important role. So, if you like this video and felt anywhere helpful, please share this video. Do subscribe this channel, and we'll see you in the next one.